Boaz has gone to the town gate. That was in the past the most important place where decisions were made, because there you would have a lot of witnesses. As soon as Boaz sits down, the guardian redeemer comes along. Boaz says, "Come over here, my friend, and sit down." Boaz also asks 10 of the elders of the town and says, "Sit here," and they do so. Then Boaz says to the close relative, "Naomi, who has come back from the country of Moab, sold the piece of land which belonged to our brother Elimelech. I thought I should bring the matter to your attention and suggest that you buy it, in the presence of these seated here and in the presence of the elders of my people. If you will redeem it, do so. But if you will not, tell me, so I will know. For no one has the right to do it except you, and I am next in line." "I will redeem it," he says. Then Boaz says, "On the day you buy the land from Naomi, you also need to ask Ruth to be your wife." That's not what the guardian redeemer wants. He says, "Then I cannot redeem it, because I don't want to marry Ruth. You redeem it yourself. I cannot do it." Look what the relative is doing. He takes off his sandal. Why is that? In earlier times in Israel, this was the method used to make a transfer of property final. So the relative gives his sandal to Boaz and says, "Buy it yourself." Then Boaz announces to the elders and all the people, "Today you are witnesses that everything that was from Naomi and her husband will be mine. I will also marry Ruth." Then the elders and all the people at the gate say, "We are witnesses. May the Lord bless Ruth and make her a mother." That would be so important, because when a widow would get a baby boy when she is married again, the first one would be considered as family from the late husband. This is maybe a bit difficult to understand, but for the Israelites it was so important that family lines would never end, especially because they were waiting for the coming Messiah. What a happy day when Boaz and Ruth get married, and the Lord blesses them. He is the one who gives children to parents, and he gives a son to Ruth and Boaz. The women of Bethlehem come to see the baby. They say to Naomi, "Praise be to the Lord, who this day has not left you without a redeemer. May he become famous throughout Israel." Naomi takes the child in her arms and cares for him. And they name him Obed. Do you know what this name means? It means servant. What a nice name. He was the grandfather from King David. Do you know what this name means? David means beloved. In the Bible we read that God calls David a man after his own heart. And in his family line, years and years later, Jesus is born. Jesus came to the earth to serve the people. He was a servant. He was also beloved, because God said, "This is my beloved Son." And when God said that, he also said, "Follow him." Let us obey God and follow Jesus.